Recently, I tried Iberico pork for the first time. I started with some baby back ribs. Today, I'm making St. Louis style ribs and they're gonna be delicious. Let's get into it. What's up, barbecue fans? My name is Jake and today I'm hoping you can hear me. It is windy as shit outside. I mean, we got 25-mile-an-hour winds with some gusts and it just seems to not stop except for right now. So we're gonna get this in super quick. I mean, the reason why we're doing it, normally I wouldn't be out and winning like this, but I got some Iberico pork calling my name. The Yoder just came up to temperature about 5 minutes ago, and I think we're in for a treat today, or at least I'm in for a treat today. I'll take you guys along for the ride. Now listen, I got a special announcement. Meat and Bone is a new partner of the channel. You guys have seen me use a couple of their products recently. I've been testing them out, but it is now official. They have become a partner and supporter of the channel. So what does that mean for you? Well, I have a 10% discount code down below that you can use off your first order. If you're looking for some higher end pork, some great poultry, they've got a ton of different things. One of their main unique things is if you're into beef, they have an amazing selection. I mean, all kinds of different Wagyus, lots of prime, some G1 grade. I mean, they've just got a great selection. And every product I've tried so far has been absolutely delicious. So please help me welcome them to the channel as a partner and click that link down below. Get yourself 10% off for your first order and I guarantee you're gonna like it. But let me show you what we got. We'll bring you up here real quick. You can see we've got some St. Louis style ribs. They're just starting to sweat. Let me tell you how we got to this point. So about, I don't know, 45 minutes ago, we got these guys out of the package, and the first thing I noticed out of the gate is that there wasn't really much to trim, right? We're looking for some straggling pieces or some extra fat, but as I flipped these guys back and forth and looked around, I really didn't find them much to trim. Now, the one thing, and one of the most common questions I get when people see me cook St. Louis style ribs is, hey, Jake, you didn't take off the membrane. Well, I mean, for me personally, on a St. Louis cut, I don't do that. I think that we get enough heat underneath the bottom, and the most important thing is that there's a lot of extra fat on a St. Louis style cut that there is not on a baby back. And that membrane helps hold all that moisture and juiciness, flavor inside around the pork ribs, so I leave it. If that kind of weirds you out or you don't really like that, the way to get around that is just drop them down over the heat near the end and just crisp up that bottom. I guarantee you it's not going to taste any different and you're going to turn out some extra juicy ribs. If you don't like it, rip it off. But don't comment down below, hey, why didn't you take off the membrane? I'm telling you right now, I don't do it on St. Louis style cut ribs. So before we can season up our ribs, I've got to mix up some pepper and salt. And today I'm using some smoked black pepper from the Man Kitchen store. This stuff is phenomenal, not just on meat, but let me tell you, mashed potatoes or eggs, that smoked pepper just adds a nice little pop. I'm gonna use a little bit of it on our ribs today because we're not gonna use any other seasonings besides salt and pepper. We're gonna taste the meat a little bit. I am gonna put a light sauce on it for a change, but I'm gonna leave the seasoning pretty basic because I really wanna taste that meat. After we were done trimming, as you can see, I pick it up in my hand, there's like nothing trimmed from these guys. So they did a really good job at Meat and Bone. So we started on the back. We just put a nice coating of salt and pepper on there. Now our salt and pepper is a 50-50 mix, pretty darn close, maybe a little pepper forward, but it's pretty darn close. And I just gave a nice easy coating on the back of it. Then we flipped it over. I put a nice healthy coating on the top side. No binder, no moisture. These were moist enough out of the package that the pepper and the salt would stick no problem, so there's no reason to use a binder there. And then what I did is I put them on a cooling rack and let them sit for about 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, I came outside and we fired up a Yoder. I already had a hopper full of Bear Mountain hickory pellets from our previous video, so we left that alone and I put the ribs on the top rack. We did a cold start to maximize our smoke and we set the Yoder at 225. Now the one thing I'm doing here is, in the last video I learned that these things cook pretty quick because there's a lot of intermuscular fat and it just kind of melts away. You can feel how soft it is as you handle these ribs. So I'm cooking them at a lower temperature than I've cooked ribs in a long time. I'm actually down at 225. I know they're gonna cook quick. but I want to give them some time in that smoke. But we're not using a smoke tube or anything like that today because I don't want to overpower the meat. As that fat renders out, it's going to be on the richer side, and I don't think we need a lot of smoke there. I want it to be a compliment in the background for these. So we're going to just go with hickory at 225, and we're going to cook them until they're done. I'll bring you in real close so you can see what they look like right now. Here they are in all their glory. You can see on near the end, I can see some bone on this side, but here is extremely meaty, and you can see like the fat already. I mean, it feels really, really soft. It is definitely, it's an interesting piece of meat. So this is going to render out nicely. It's already pooling a little bit, and look, we're at 225, and this has not been on that long. I think we're about 15 minutes since we hit 225. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hurry up and wait. Have a sip of a rum and coke. Cheers. These are going to cook quick. So what I'm going to do, probably in about 30 minutes, maybe 45, I'm going to come out and maybe give them a spray. But once I see it's time to spray, I'll bring you back and I'll talk to you about what we're doing here and give you an update. All right, so unfortunately it is awkward sun time, but we got to get some sauce in these ribs. It's been 3 hours and they're done. Let me show you what we're looking at here. As you can see, they've got a gorgeous color to them. If we pick them up right now, we can pick them up a couple inches and the ends are still holding there. If we look at our temperature, which I have not checked yet, I just did it by feel, we're 197, 198 really, 199. So we're right up there, but like again, this is kind of my classic test. If I can lift them up a couple inches and each end touches, we're good. Now look at how nice these look. They're not dried out at all, and I did not spray these even once. I went to, and because this fat is rendering out, it's kind of self-basting. So I am going to put a very, very light coat of sauce on here just because I do like a saucy rib. I'm a saucy kind of guy, but it's going to be very, very light just for a little bit of flavor. In fact, you'll still see the color of the rib through the sauce, right? That end's a little saucier. I'll brush some of this down, balance it out a little bit. It's hands down the lightest coating of sauce I've ever put on a set of ribs. I'm gonna flip these over real quick. I just want to get a little bit hot on the bottom. I'm doing both sides right away because they're pretty darn close to being done, and I do not want to overcook them. I just want to get a little bit of sauce on both sides. Okay. Look, you can see right through there. The sauce is super, super light, and we're just gonna let these tack up for maybe 5 minutes. It's so light, it's not gonna take that long at all. It's been 5 minutes. Let's pull these guys off. There we go. We'll give you a shot of those from the front. Turn off our Yoder here. I mean, gorgeous, gorgeous looking ribs. Super excited to give them a try. Hopefully, while we wait out these to cool off, maybe the sun will go overhead and we'll have a little bit of a better shot for you. I mean, honestly, on this camera, you can see the food. Do you really need to see my face when you got food like this? Let these cool down for about 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll dig in and see how they taste. So it's been 10 minutes, and to be honest, I just can't wait any longer. They smell delicious. They look amazing. I mean, look at the color on these guys. Oh, I mean, it's just gonna be a flavor explosion in your mouth, but I mean, come on. Tell me that doesn't look like an amazing rack of ribs. Let's give these guys a cut here. There we go. I mean, right away, you can see the moisture in them. I mean, there's so much moisture it might blind you. Look at that. And it is blinding you. You can't even get it, you can't even see it. Let's fix that for you. A little too bright. Hey, Ollie, relax. What's up, Ollie? Did you smell some pork? Some pork over here. Of course, Ollie loves pork, and he's right by my side here saying, hey, Dad, drop some or share some. But check it, I mean, just check out the moisture there. Get a pretty decent shot of it. They're just full of moisture throughout. Let's have a little bite. Real interesting note. Here's the membrane. It's coming off as I chew. Tastes pretty good. It's actually a little surprise. Wow. Now listen, this is not something that you're gonna buy all the time, right? These are expensive ribs. But we all work hard and we deserve a treat once in a while. And this is something, when you're looking for that treat, I think you should try. As I said, it's very, very difficult to describe the taste of it, but I'll tell you what, it definitely hits a spot. I'm looking forward to taking these in, and I guess I'll have to share some with Ollie, but I really don't want to because they are that good. So hopefully you got some value out of this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up while you're down there. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks as always for watching. I'll see you soon.